from New York City, it's Wendy Williams. Today, the super sexy Jenny McCarthy is here gushing about her hot new gig and even hotter new man. And you won't believe what Jenny revealed when Wendy puts her in the hot seat. Plus, who's Lindsay Lohan dating now? We've got the latest. Now, here's Wendy.
I know you got a lot of choices. Thanks for making time for your girl. Say hello to my studio audience. Fabulous, my co-host. How you doing? Fantastic. So listen, we've got a terrific show planned for you. Khloe Kardashian's mother is pushing her to divorce Lamar. And Zac Efron secretly went to rehab, got released, and we didn't know about it at all. We're gonna talk. And I Dream of Nene premiered last night, so we're gonna talk about that and more. It's time for Hot Topics. So, I'm glad you're watching. I did not watch the full I Dream of Nene last night. Did you watch? Yes. I so intended on watching that show and then that Atlanta show after, but I got through maybe the first 15 minutes of Nene. Got to admit, I was bored. And then it was my husband's birthday. And so, you know how territorial you are about the remote when it's your birthday? So now here he comes. You know, I'm trying to, get into the Nene, but here he comes, click. He goes over to Nat Geo. Next thing I know, we're watching Drugs, Inc. and all that. Did you ever watch Nat Geo? Oh my gosh, the best stuff. Locked Up Abroad, all that. Ooh, I love that. So anyway, apparently, the show is following Nene as she prepares to remarry her ex-husband, Greg. Well, it sounds like a great idea, could be entertaining. We're getting all the behind-the-scenes details of Nene's $1.8 million wedding. Last night, apparently, they showed that Greg was married to a different woman for almost 20 years before marrying Nene. See, I'm shocked that you're shocked because I thought that we knew that. I knew that he was married before. I just didn't know that he was married for 20 years. So that's good. That shows that he's committed. He's been with Nene for 15. No, you know how there's some guys who just, everything in their background with women is sketchy and short relationships. I mean, he's been with Nene for 5 years. He was with his ex-wife for 20 years. He has 5 adult children, which I knew he had other kids, but my assumption was that they were all with the wife. However, Nene intimated in the clip that I'm about to show you that I guess they're littered all around the city. You be the judge, and then we're gonna talk. So last night, and also the 5 adult kids don't like Nene. And apparently, Greg doesn't know how to get between Nene and the kids and handle the way a man should. So Nene had a few drinks, otherwise known as carriage juice. And then she proceeds to have the following conversation with Greg. Take a look and we'll talk. Go ahead.
You have always been the person in the middle. You have always been the person with the bad communication. You're not communicating well with your children. Those kids always fault me for everything. You let them just go on like, Nene has come in here and interrupted. This stripper came into my life and shook it up on me. That's some... I don't know what kind of bug Greg is putting in their ear. They obviously think I'm a step monster. I want your kids to stop trying to accuse me of I haven't done anything. This is your daddy and his ding-a-ling running around Atlanta.
Did you hear the end? This is your daddy and his ding-a-ling running around town. So my assumption now is that the kids aren't all, but see, Nene, here's the thing, and I get what you're saying. Nobody wants to be considered a step monster. You know, and Nene and Greg do seem good and right for each other in spite of, you know, despite everything, I like them together. Greg, by the way, looks youthful as a boy with that hairline. Did you notice that while he was talking to her? I mean, you can't really see it there. Greg, go like this. Greg, go like this. Anyway, it's youthful and good and salt and peppery. But look, the problem is, and I'm sure Nene knows this, and you might agree, you might not, is that Greg met Nene at the strip club when she was a stripper named Silk. A stripper named Silk then marries your daddy, and all a child really wants, even when they're older, is to see their parents together. Do you know what I mean? Mommy and Daddy, do you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you know, Mommy, and you don't have to talk back because it'll make Hot Topics too long. Plus, I'll be able to finally get a word in edgewise. Mommy, if Daddy ever went to a strip club and met a stripper named Silk, even though I'm 49 and you all have been married for 55 years now? 56 years? Daddy, if you ever met and married a stripper named Silk, know this. I would treat you bad also. And her. Mommy, I got your back, girl. All I'm saying is that that's probably why the kids don't like Nene, because, you know, and then not only that, but then Nene comes along and everybody thinks that when you're on TV, you're wealthy beyond belief, which apparently Nene is, because she told us so. And she's paying $1.8 million for a wedding, but the kids probably now want in on the fame and some of the money and what they see. So next week, we have to make sure that we watch, because that's when we're gonna actually, we didn't meet the kids last night. We're gonna meet the kids next week. By the way, Teresa Giudice over in Jersey was invited to Nene's wedding, but she wasn't able to attend. However, she did send a very expensive gift. Nene told Radar Online that Teresa gave them some very expensive Hermes plates for their wedding present. Now, that's a little too rich for my blood. I didn't know how much. But I did my research. I looked on the Hermes website and saw that the plates cost $300 a piece. So see, Teresa, that's why you and Joe's behinds are in slings right now. You know? Incidentally, if you happen to be in New York, I understand that there's a one-day sale at some place in Manhattan on Hermes stuff. FYU. Earlier this summer, though, you know, Teresa and Joe over in Jersey, they were indicted for tax fraud and tax evasion. And you already know that if they're convicted, that they both each face 30 years in prison, each. And a $1 million fine, which seems like nothing in the bigger scheme of things, the fine. It's the thing about 30 years apiece. And then they got those 4 daughters, and the older one is already starting to spin out of control with that attitude. We've seen her, you know how the kids are. She's doing nothing but acting like, you know, how kids sometimes act. But Teresa is so permissive with them, and Joe, that, you know, at this time, the kids need their parents. Joe is not a legal US citizen and could be deported. Now, well, it'll be either or, from what I understand with the justice system. Either he will do jail time here in our country and not face deportation, or they will deport him back to Italy, where, you know, he's fluent in Italian, deport him back to Italy, and then the Italian government will decide whether he goes to jail or not. And so one of my staffers said, well, what are Italian prisons like? I said, have you ever seen Locked Up Abroad? I mean, they are the worst. Attica and Sing Sing have nothing on prisons over there. But, you know, I have a plan for Teresa and Joe, and I talked about it yesterday briefly with Anthony Anderson, and I think that sometimes a married couple just needs to bite the bullet and to have some kitchen table talk about what's really good. What I think that they should do is, I think that they should make an agreement that Joe takes the fall for everything, and that Teresa remains free to raise their 4 fragile daughters. And, you know, and what man would not agree to keep his wife free on account of the daughters. So I feel, because they look like they're back in love, like a really good couple. Did you see them in the did you see her in that shimmery bikini the other week? And she got in the jacuzzi. Didn't they seem like a couple in love and on the brink of jail? But you know, and I understand that there's Melissa Gorga and they got tons of family and everything, but aunts and uncles don't take the place of parents. So Teresa should remain free, Joe should bite the bullet, and then life will, oh, and get off reality TV, by the way, too, Teresa. Off. So this Lindsay Lohan is out of rehab, and she's, well, no, you know that already. Yeah, okay. What, you know she's got a new boyfriend? Too soon? Yes. Sometimes we don't understand that getting in a relationship is probably the worst thing that we can do because we need to focus on getting ourselves together. But she's still young. As you know, her mother is wayward, so she's got nobody guiding her. According to People magazine, Lindsay's dating a reality star by the name of Matt Nordegren. Who said who? Because I don't know who that is, and I thought I watched all the reality TV. But I did my research. Insiders say that Lindsay and Matt have been hooking up, as the kids say, for a long time. Hooking up means not boyfriend, girlfriend, just having the sex and going home. So Matt is 30, and he's from Texas, and he played football. And he played for one season with the Philadelphia Eagles. He doesn't look like a football player, does he? He looks like one of those skinny Hollywood boys, like with nothing like a girl body, or you know, like you know, he doesn't look like a football player. Now you, sir, in the white shirt, you look like a football player. Yeah, no, yes, you. Raise your hand. Raise it. You. Yes, there you are. Now you look like a football player. Welcome to the show. In the meantime, this guy, Matt, was also, all right, the reality show that he was on is Most Eligible Dallas. Did you watch that? No. Yeah, I don't know what that is. He's worth reportedly $20 million, though. His mother and father and the family, they have an energy business based out of Texas. So then you say, well, what's he doing on reality TV? You know, if you got your money and you've got your established thing. I'll tell you what he's doing on reality TV. Today's culture has people drunk with this whole TV thing. Like, you know, it's not enough for Donald Trump to have all of his money. He's got to be on TV. You know, fame is a real drug. And even when people have all their money, these days, they just gotta be on the TV. They gotta be on the TV. So here's this guy. But Lindsay, you better watch it because he's also been linked to other famous people, including Audrina Patridge from The Hills. And that former bachelorette down here, wait, no, that's Audrina. Here she is now. Do you know Vienna Giardi? I never watched The Bachelor. I always felt as though I'm left out on a cult classic, though, The Bachelor. I never watched the show, but that girl, Vienna. So my thought is that this guy is probably a multi-million-dollar opportunist, Lindsay. You be careful, because he might not really care about you, Lindsay, care about you if all he was doing was hooking up with you in the past. If he really wanted to have you as a girlfriend, he would have claimed you back in the day. But no, in my mind, what he's doing, Lindsay, is he's using you because right now you're hotter than fish grease in the streets. You know, people, you know, the photographers are waiting to take your picture and we want to talk about you here on Hot Topics, and this boy gets shrapnel just by being around you. I don't like him for you. He might have good intentions, but not for you, Lindsay. Samantha, you're my favorite, yes, you're my favorite boyfriend, girlfriend for Lindsay. That little Samantha Ronson, I mean, yeah, you know, Lindsay was spinning out of control at the time she was with Sam, but you know, those two girls to me, like Sam just seems to have a level head, and you know, she's a multi-millionaire DJ, and I like, Sam, can you just break this up with Matt and Lindsay? Or at the very least, look out for our girl. Thanks, Sam. That looked like little dirty love, didn't it? Both of them looked like nobody took a shower and it's all good. Dirty, smelly love. Who wants to talk about Zac Efron? He's like the only 25-year-old who really does it for me. I just think this boy, I just think he is so nice looking, and I was completely blindsided that he did a stint in rehab and was released about 5 months ago, and we never knew about it. Hot topics. What happened? Why didn't we know about this? It's not just us. We didn't read about this on TMZ, Media Takeout, like nobody talked about it. Well, apparently, Zac hasn't confirmed what he went to rehab for, but now the reports are that he was allegedly abusing alcohol. There are other allegations talking about he was allegedly abusing cocaine and also allegedly popping Molly and sweating. Woo! Which, Molly to me is like, first of all drugs are bad, but isn't Molly something that like you do when you're 17, 18, and 19? Like, if you went to a grown party and somebody popped Molly, wouldn't you be like, first of all, the drugs are wrong. Secondly, what are you doing with Molly? It's like how shocked we were at Lamar and the allegations about crack. Crack? Really? Anyway, Zac is now healthy. And he's clean and sober. I know. Right? Now look, I know what you're saying. Oh my gosh, Zac is a frat boy. That's the first thing I said. And I said, oh my gosh, he's back to drinking beer and we caught him? No, that's on the set of a new movie. He's playing a frat boy who apparently drinks beer. I could just look at him all day. I swear, he was my first choice for Christian Grey for, you know, the movie, for the book. He was my first choice. I mean, they hired that other boy. He probably came cheaper. I don't know who the other boy is, but I'm willing to give it a chance, and I'm still going to see, what were those books called again? 50 Shades of Grey, the movie. Bye, Zac. All right. Now look at me. The drama still continues for Khloe and Lamar. And these days, none of it's been sweet. Khloe, I thought, was 31. She's actually 29 years old. Reportedly, which is, to me, even, I'll explain in a moment, but to me, even more of a reason that she needs a divorce in the name of friendship. I'll explain, hold on. I hear you yelling at me through the TV. Whatever happened till death do us part? What if your husband abandoned you? Well, what if, could have, should have. We're talking about Khloe right now. Look, she's refusing to file for divorce. That woman called Mother is very, very unhappy about this. Her. Anyway, according to the Daily News, Kris called, the mother, called an emergency meeting with a high-powered divorce lawyer. Kris is allegedly pressuring Khloe to file for divorce, reminding her, not that you're beautiful and gorgeous and you'll be fine, reminding her of the Kardashian brand and her responsibility to her sisters. I gotta tell you something right now. You are the most unliked woman in America. Honestly. Who does that? According to Radar Online, follow the rest of the story. Khloe is having a hard time letting go of Lamar because her entire self-worth and identity is wrapped up in her marriage. Isn't that horrible? You know, if she got more hugs and love and reassurance from that woman called Mother when she was a little girl, then maybe she would feel better about herself now. And this is the first time and probably only time I will ever agree with this woman. And that is, I do believe that Khloe needs a divorce in the name of love, though, for me, in the name of love. I feel that, you know, if by chance the allegations are true, that this 30-something-year-old he's worth $50 million, Lamar, is in fact hooked on drugs, if in fact this is true, then he is going to be very hard to get sober. Because unlike many of us when we were doing drugs, we didn't have $50 million, and we weren't in our 30s. You know how you can't teach an old dog new tricks? It's just very difficult to sit there. This young lady is only 29 years old. She wants a husband and a baby, and I feel in the name of love. And look at this, cute, right? Cute. Listen, and cautionary tale, young lady, and the rest of you, young lady, cautionary tale, this is why you don't marry somebody only a month after knowing them. Right? Because a true true person on drugs, you don't have to admit who you are, but that was formerly me. We show our drug culture. You can't sneak around for more than a month before everybody realizes what you're doing. And if she just gave the relationship a chance and they dated a bit, then perhaps she would have seen these allegations before it happened. But I do think she needs a divorce in the name of love. Then she needs to be his friend and walk with him through, you know, the rehab or phone conversations, but realize that a friendship with your ex-husband has an expiration date, and the expiration date is when you meet the one that you truly want to marry. Then she's got to cut it off from Lamar. That's all I'm saying. Keep your claps going. We have a fantastic show for you. The fabulous Jenny McCarthy is here. Jenny's going to talk about her new job at The View and her new man. Plus, Jenny's brave enough to get in the Wendy hot seat, so you don't want to miss it. But up next, from PopGoesTheWeek.com, Brian Balthazar is joining us with the inside scoop on Julie Chen's plastic surgery backlash. Keep it here. Inside scoop here with the latest juicy celebrity news from PopGoesTheWeek.com. Say hello to our friend Brian Balthazar. Brian, let's get right to it, everybody. Julie Chen from The Talk show, The Talk.
Yeah, this is good, and I've been wanting your perspective on this. So last week, she exposed deep, dark secrets on her show. You remember from The Talk and Big Brother. And she talked about when she was in her early 20s, a news director and an agent both told her that she basically looked too Chinese and that would make her unrelatable. And that the fact that her eyelids were heavy made her look disinterested and tired. So she got an eye job. You can see the pictures right here, and it's dramatic, right?
It's very dramatic.
Very dramatic. Now, of course, there was instant backlash. A lot of people said she was denying her Chinese heritage. She said, listen, it's no secret here, I still look Chinese. And she did point out, though, that her career took off. But the backlash didn't go away, because a lot of people look at that picture and say, that's not all she had done. But
the nose job?
Everyone was saying, look at the nose, look at the chin, like something is different here.
Okay, here's what I think. First of all, she still does look Chinese,
yes.
And her having an eye job is no different than when we were growing up in Ocean Township. It was a rite of passage when you turned 16 that my Jewish friends got nose jobs if they needed them. It was a rite of passage. I know some of you all think that I got a nose job. No, I didn't. It's the same nose I was born with, but you know, that's like saying a black person with a wide nose who gets a nose job is denying being black. Like, no, that's ludicrous, you know? And it did advance her career, along with sleeping with the head of the network. Allegedly behind his wife's back. Yes, honey. Google it.
Okay.
You know, and so that advanced her career, I'm sure, more than you know, surgical eyes. And now they're married, so you know it's a quaint marriage. But she allegedly
and there you have it.
Stole him. There. The nose job.
Yeah, she wanted to prove, in fact, that she didn't actually get a nose job.
Okay.
So she went on the record yesterday and said that her eyes are the only thing she had done, and that is actually excellent makeup contouring.
Okay.
And she actually was smart. She posted a video of her getting her makeup done. It's very short, so watch the nose. It's time lapse. We'll look at her nose, and then we're gonna play it again, because you can see, she says sometimes she's been accused of being on The Lion King. There's so much.
Let's do it again. Do it again.
Watch it again and again. Look at the nose. This takes about 45 minutes for her every day. And it just shapes her whole face right up.
Do you understand? Did you understand that?
Right.
While I understand the eyes, I totally get the nose thing.
Yeah.
Even my makeup artist, Morel, said, no, that's good contouring. She wears a lot of makeup on
And when
the
you
show.
see them in person, it looks different. On TV, it flattens it all out, so you just think it's light.
Right.
But in real life, you're like, what's going on with the makeup?
Yeah.
So, but
right.
she actually polled the audience to see if they thought she had a nose job.
Yeah.
More than half of them applauded, saying they did. Even Sharon Osbourne and Sarah Gilbert got up and clapped, saying they thought she had gotten a nose job.
I still agree, though, sleeping with the right man gets you a lot further than getting an eye job. Let's move on to another story.
Let's do. So, we've been all talking about Miley Cyrus, who, you know, her VMAs, which was like a bad sex dream, and then she did her. Oh, I know I feel bad for the foam finger. So anyway, then she put out her wrecking ball video where she licked a sledgehammer. I mean, there she is, hanging from it. She forgot her clothes. Who does that? You don't know where that's been, and I'm talking about Miley.
We don't know where she's been. Oh, yes, perfect.
Anyway, so now some famous pop icons are weighing in on the whole Miley Cyrus thing.
Who's talking?
Britney Spears is one of them.
What'd she say?
Now, here's one thing she said, but I want to dig deeper because there's more to this. She says, I think anytime you do a performance that is that memorable, you're going to have criticism. I think she's doing her thing. She's being herself, so I give props to her. P.S. She has a track with Miley on the album. And she shares the same manager, and the manager, Larry Rudolph, is kind of being credited with bringing these teen stars into adulthood.
Of course.
The key is taking off your clothes, apparently.
Yes.
But anyway, so there's one other one who's not so supportive, and that's Elton John.
Oh, well, he's older.
I know, and he's been there, honestly. When
Yeah.
he was, I can only imagine what he said.
But older people just say anything.
Yes.
What'd he say?
Yeah, so he said, first he says, I can see a car crash from a mile away, and then he goes, I look at Miley Cyrus and I see a meltdown waiting to happen, and she's so young, but she's got 2 records in the top 20, so who's going to stop her? So it's, you know, it's a good point. No one's telling Miley to stop. She's got a hit video, a hit song, and an album.
But we're also watching like it might be a train wreck.
Yes, but she's never been arrested.
The story, yet.
Yeah.
The stories were juicy. Thank you, Brian
you.
Baltazar. It's Brian Baltazar, everybody. Be sure to check out these stories and more. Go to popgoestheweek.com. Up next, the always outspoken Jenny McCarthy is joining us. Is one of my favorite people, and last Monday she became one of the ladies of The View. Take a look.
You heard them saying Jenny. They weren't saying Sherry or Whoopi or Barbie.
They weren't.
They were saying hello to our new cast member, Jenny McCarthy.
Yes.
Jenny McCarthy. Okay. Jenny. Oh! Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, Jenny, you are such a lady.
I'm trying to be a journalist now.
You know what? Isn't it different being on daytime than any other time in your life?
Yes, it is, because, you know, obviously it's a different audience. No one wants a little too dirty with their coffee.
Yes.
But you also don't want a little bit of too much boring or politics.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we like our gossip.
Which is why, like, I don't know if you know this, but I here, even on our Hot Topics, was one of the people who said, take that Jenny McCarthy and put her on the panel. Like, when I heard your name, Buzz, I thought you'd be perfect.
Oh,
because
thanks.
you're cool enough to be cool and mature enough with your son to be a lady.
I gotta
It's a
tell
perfect
you,
mix.
I have such gratitude for the job, too, being a single mom.
Yeah.
That literally, when they called me, I literally was in Evan's room, I dropped to my knees and said, thank you, God. Because after 20 years being in the business,
yeah.
I feel like that burden's off my shoulder. Like, I can do what I love and I can feed my baby.
Yes, and very well. I hear about those View salaries.
I'm not there yet.
But look at me.
Yes.
I mean, not look at me. Can you see me? Because I want to talk about your glasses that you wear on the View. Is that hot for the teacher? You know, Jenny, daytime small. Like, what are you doing?
I think anytime you have blonde hair and big boobs and you wear glasses, you're going for the teacher look. But that's not the reason. I'm actually so blind when it comes to reading a teleprompter. I never had to do it. I always improvise.
Right.
So when it came time for the show, the first time I was on, I seriously was like trying to read the prompter with my eyes squinted, and it was a mess. So now I have to wear glasses.
But so, Jen, why wouldn't you just wear contacts?
You know, I tried that when I was doing my late night show, and I'm so expressive, the contacts kept popping out. And then I'd just be like, people are like, what is wrong? She's doing an Amanda Bynes impersonation? Like,
good one.
So,
all right, so you wear the glasses. Now that you have your new job, and it's brand new, but did Hasselbeck or Behar leave you anything, you know, at the set, or did they send you anything special to congratulate you? Because, you know, they're no longer at the show.
Just their dirty laundry in their dressing rooms. No, I'm kidding. They actually were so sweet. You know, Elizabeth wrote me a few long texts just talking about how happy she is for me and some advice. And Joy wished me congratulations on a few shows. So I felt really supported even by the women that were leaving.
Yeah.
And I hope I can fill both of their shoes adequately enough for people who are really big fans of theirs.
Good for you. So now, as we all know, unless you're under a rock, Jenny has a new man, and his name is Donnie Wahlberg.
Wendy, we've been sitting here for a while.
No.
Last time it was a dating show, remember?
No. Last time it was a dating show, but the time before you were dating that football player from that city that I don't want to, you know, really rehash, because I love you and Donnie together.
You do, I'm glad.
Well,
I love your support. He's so sweet.
And age appropriate and handsome.
And guess what? He has a job.
And he
has
a job. He's on the Blue Show with Tom
Blue
Selleck.
Bloods. I know.
I love that show.
And he's a good actor. He like plays a cop, and then he can be a rock star. So I'm like, oh, it's so naughty.
Here's the thing. I know he already has kids. Does he want more kids? Do we have to get pregnant again?
No, I mean, this uterus is so close.
Okay.
I mean, if I could super glue it and staple it, I would. I mean, like, I am done. I'm done.
The thing about having a talk show that I've always said, you know, I'm not single, but if I was, this would be my casting couch for my life, for friendship and boyfriends. So when you had your VH1 show, that's how you met Donnie.
We originally met him on Andy Cohen's show, but I thought he was married, so I was like, shut down. Like, I was not giving any heat that way. And then I found out afterwards, when he was booked on my show, that he was single. So I was like, what? And I still wasn't thinking anything.
Oh, wait. Did you know he was single before you picked out your outfit? Did you pick out your outfit, you know, based on this guy is coming?
No, I didn't. I mean, I would have worn probably a skirt. I wore like a man's suit.
You have a crew neck and a suit jacket.
A t-shirt. It was kind of boring.
But you have a lollipop and you're laying on the ground.
This is our groundbreaking interview section. And I basically said to him, because it was a late night show, I said, you know, do you like to talk dirty when you're, you know, making love? And he said, yeah, I do. I go, you know, most guys don't know how to talk dirty. And he said, I don't. And I
No, you mean he does.
I mean, he does. Right. I said, most guys do it wrong.
I read the magazine.
Sorry. I said, most guys don't know how to talk dirty.
Yeah.
And he says, well, I don't screw it up. I do it good. So at that moment, I was like,
Well, how do you, yes. Now, look how he's looking at you. Like a steak sandwich with extra Swiss.
With Peter Luger's.
By the way, thank you for sending me the pizza.
Right?
Oh my God!
Giordano's pizza is the best pizza in Chicago. I had to send her deep dish pizza from Chicago. I was
so
living there
good.
still. Thank you.
So good. Okay, back to Donnie.
Yes.
All right.
Speaking of sausage.
So.
Sorry. Probably gonna break up with me now.
How do you talk dirty wrong?
By maybe calling somebody the wrong name. I would start
Yeah.
there. You know, I think when you try too hard.
Or you cut your R's too hard.
What do you mean? Give me an example.
Mother. No, it's mother. Mother, not mother.
Who said mother in bed? Wendy?
Well, I'm saying no. Follow me. No, you know.
I know. I don't know, but I'm gonna follow you on Twitter and see.
So now look at me. So you're dating another celebrity. When you're out for dinner or going on vacation or whatever, is there an argument over, no, you pay. Oh, everybody's rich, we all pay. Like, what happens?
You know what? I don't think it's whether dating another celebrity or what. I'm old school. I think every time a guy should always pick up dinner no matter what.
Jen.
Like, I'll split the vacation.
Jen.
I'll split a house, but I think it's just chivalry, and men should always just pick up the tab for dinner. It's romantic and sweet, and it should be done.
There, you got that. Okay, so now, we've known you since MTV, those days.
20 years ago.
20 years ago, all the way up until now, but you still, isn't it funny you do that?
I know, I'm like,
I have a fake cigarette also. I do that on the after show. Yes!
It's just, it reminds me of that SNL sketch.
Yes, whenever I'm making a point, I'm like, well, honey, back in the day.
I did it to Barbara Walters, too. She was asking me about my boyfriends. I'm like, which one, darling, which one?
What'd she say?
Oh, I don't know. I forgot what she was talking about, but she said, "You're many boyfriends," and I just
Have you ever had one-on-one time with her?
Well, yeah, like, she walks down the hallway and I'm like, Barbara Walters, Barbara Walters.
No. I mean one-on-one for a half hour or more.
No.
Are you nervous about that? Like, what if she asks you out for dinner?
I would go to dinners, Barbara Walters.
But just the two of you, what are you gonna talk about?
Sex.
Have you ever had a dry spell?
Yes, I did, when I was married, as a matter of fact.
To your child's father?
Yeah, you know, I was after I had the baby,
Yeah?
and it was like, I went like almost a year, and I was like, something's wrong. I'm Scorpio, I'm very kind of sexual, I'm always a little bit horny, and something's wrong. Like, I don't want him to touch me when he breathes, I can't stand him, I missed it. So I went to a hormone specialist that balanced my hormones.
I don't see a beard. You
Actually,
know, girls.
I just plucked it. I did. I was like, fine. But it did really help. It's like progesterone cream, and I balanced myself. But the problem is, one time I put on too much, and I was humping the side of a couch. I was like, what? I called the doctor. I'm like, I am really excited about everything.
You realize that millions of women now are going to want to know what it is that you took? All right, well,
It's balancing your hormones. There you go.
Balancing the hormones, and it doesn't grow you a beard. Up next, everybody, the always outspoken Jenny is going to take her place in our hot seat. You don't want to miss it. Keep it here. Welcome back. It's about to get really hot here because Jenny McCarthy is brave enough to sit in our hot seat for the first time this season. There goes the hot seat. Okay, we're gonna ask Jenny 4 questions, starting off with a warm one, increasing to the hottest one. Jen, ready?
Can I fail at this game or no?
There's no fail.
Okay, good.
Yes. All right, here we
Let's
go.
do it.
Your 40-degree question. During your time on Single Out, did you ever hook up with one of the contestants?
Ooh, that's a good one. No, because I was 22 doing the show, dating a 45-year-old, so I thought all those kids were a little too young for me at the time. Can you believe that? Of course, they
Wow.
were all drunk and stoned, and who wants to date that?
Wow. Okay. And your 60-degree question.
Yes.
Have you ever taken a job just for the money? If so, what job?
I would have to go with Playboy. I posed the first time to pay off my college debt, which was $20,000. The second time was to buy my parents a new home. Third time was pay for Evan's tuition. So that was for the money. Yes.
Aww. A mom's gotta do.
You know what I call it? I gotta feed the baby.
Yes, what a daughter's gotta do. Okay, here's your 80-degree question. Have you ever been in trouble with the law?
I did. When I was in college, I didn't have much money, so I decided to make, very entrepreneurial, illegal parking passes that I sold to freshmen.
Yay, I mean, oops.
To pay for my books. And then all of a sudden the cops came to arrest me, and my roommates were like, oh my God, the cops are here to arrest you. So I jumped out my window, drove home, and never went back to school.
Yay! I mean, ooh. Go, Jenny. Jenny, you're doing great. We got one more question. This is the 100-degree question.
I'm scared.
Funny you say that. Who was the scariest celebrity you ever met?
Ooh. I'd have to go with Robert De Niro.
Why?
He was on our show. He was like in the first week, and I was terrified. I did all my homework, and I prepped my question. I memorized. I practiced in the mirror, and I go to ask him a question, and he literally looked at me like I was crazy and just said, I don't know. And I was like, I'm scared of Robert De Niro. So.
Well, you'll run into him again because you're on The View.
I know.
And they get everyone. Jenny McCarthy, everybody, brave enough to take our hot seat. Thank you so much, Jenny.
Thanks, Wendy. I love
The
you.
View with Jenny airs weekdays at 11 a.m. on ABC. We'll be right back.
And we want you.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for Ask Wendy. How you doing, princess?
Hi, my name's Amanda. How you doing, Wendy?
Hi, Amanda.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So I've been dating a guy for about 7 months. We seem to really like each other. He's a fitness freak. Muscles, very nice. He's admitted that he's a secret chubby chaser. So the fact of the matter is he'd rather be seen in public with a thin, fit woman.
Right.
And is a little ashamed that I'm plus size.
And he calls you after midnight and comes over, you do the dirty.
Oh, he sure enough does.
And then he leaves.
Uh-huh.
So what's your question to me?
do I continue dating this? We're having a good time. It's nice. It's fun. But is it shutting off other men? Other good things that could happen? Should I quit it?
Well, it is, but you realize that since he's not your boyfriend, you are still allowed to date any man that you want. I insist.
Oh,
I
okay,
insist.
okay.
Oh,
this is the new part to me.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're a single woman who only dates one man at a time?
I like to stay focused.
No. You've got to cast your rod in many pools.
Okay.
And then decide which one you want to be a boyfriend.
All
That's
right.
the first thing. And regarding your guy who has a fetish for fat girls, listen, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you understand what he's with you for. So don't look him in the eyes and fall in love.
Okay,
Is sex worthwhile? No. Is the sex worthwhile?
It's a nice time.
Well, then do it until you don't want to do it anymore. And you both know what you're in it for.
We both know what we're in it for.
All right, perfect. And everybody's an adult, why not? Everybody up next, we have Wendy watchers from the Facebook weighing in on Nene's new show. Fan feedback is next. Time for Wendy fan feedback. Earlier in Hot Topics, we were talking about the premiere last night of I Dream of Nene on Bravo. And here's what Wendy watchers had to say about Nene's new reality show. Jenna F says, I love how Nene and Greg are displaying the good, the bad, and the ugly process it takes to get back to love. Valerie W writes, I think a big second wedding at their age is ridiculous. It shouldn't be a big affair or a TV show. And finally, Corrine R says, I love me some Nene Leakes. She's so the friend in my head. I'm glad to see her and Greg doing it right. So thank you for your feedback. Now listen, we did a poll on wendyshow.com and 67% of Wendy watchers said that they love Nene's show and they will be back watching it next week. Thank you for all of your comments. I love when you join in on our lively conversation at my Facebook and Twitter pages. Keep it here. We'll be right back. Tomorrow, for the very first time, Dr. Phil is here. I love you for watching today, and I'll see you next time on Wendy. Bye.